You think so? Yeah, maybe that could be my excuse for getting a new computer with a new life. I don't know. So thank you all guys so much for hanging in there. We are going to be streaming live. Actually, we're streaming live right now. So, and I'm the host. So all is well in the Zoom world. Yay. The Ring Doorbell Classic, Ring Doorbell class can now carry on. So is everybody sharing their screen that wants to, and let me go ahead and make Michael co-host. And Michael, let me know if somebody else ends up being co-host, because here I am clicking on Michael and going to more. And I just clicked make co-host. And yes, there we are. You should be co-host, Michael, right? Okay. All right, we're in business. So welcome to Ring Video Doorbell meeting and class. And thank you guys for coming back to learn just the basics of the Ring Doorbell. And we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here because I can. Woohoo, I'm host. So let me get on here and pull up the proper screen. I've got some extra screens open here. I'm trying to help everything out and get things where they needed to be. So bear with me if I pull up a screen that's not the one I'm trying to get to. Here we go, Ring Doorbell. Hopefully everybody can see that right now. My PowerPoint screen. Yes, good. We're good to go here. So thanks for joining Get Set Up. If you would, please help us spread the word. The class is being recorded. I believe I had turned it off, Michael. If you turned it back on, then we're good to go. You can request a copy of the recording if you'd like by sending an email to help@getsetup.io. So let me forego some of these slides. Actually, this is a good slide. Anything that you need from Get Set Up, you can email help@getsetup.io, and they can get you some help and get you what you need. So the agenda for today's class is we're just going to talk about what Ring Video Doorbell is and what it can actually do for you. And we'll talk about a few of the features, and we'll talk about the app. Ring Video Doorbell app is generally how everybody uses their Ring appliances, I'll say, because obviously Ring is made for us to be able to answer our door whenever we're not home. We can monitor our house. Now, Ring is a really robust company. There's a lot of things you can get. Just the doorbell alone, you can get just the doorbell for a little under $100, I think. There's actually a Memorial Day sale going on right now. You can get a doorbell that comes with something called a Chime Pro that actually lets you customize your doorbell rings, so to speak. There's a Christmas one, a Halloween one, and just several other chimes and things like that. So there are also cameras, security cameras that you can put on the outside of your house. It's an entire security system, actually. It's grown and grown and grown and just continues to grow. So let's see. Let me just stop the share for a moment and ask, what is the one thing that you want to learn from the class today? Anybody, feel free to unmute yourself and speak up.
Well, I don't know how to install.
I'm sorry, what?
How to install it.
Okay. It's very simple. That's a good one. So, okay. What else?
How to use it. I've had the Ring app for a while, but I really don't know how to use it.
It can be kind of confusing. Yeah. So you want to know, you need to know how to use the app, right? Okay. All right. So
one other thing. The thing is let's take and say that I get the basic taken in doorbell because that's all I can afford right now. Can you do like a stereo system add-on pieces, or do you have to get the whole thing at once?
No, you can get one piece at a time. And if you start out with just the Ring Video Doorbell, I think the sales right now are anywhere, maybe you can find one as low as $59 up to $79, I think, just for the doorbell. Here's the thing with a doorbell. You don't need any kind of a subscription or anything like that to use it. When somebody walks up and pushes the doorbell, it's going to ring and you're going to get a notification on the app. With the subscription, however, you can actually save your videos, and the subscription is like only $30 a year, which really isn't that bad. So in order to save videos and share them, and maybe if something happened around your house where it was a security incident and you wanted to share that video, maybe even with the Ring neighborhood, you would need that $30 subscription. And any extra device that you add on is another $30. But then when you get up to like 4 and 5 devices, if you really totally surround your house with Ring devices, they have a special, I think it's like $100 a year. So Sheila, do you have a question? You're muted. There you go.
If you have that feature, does it occupy a lot of space on your phone?
No, ma'am, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Not at all. Anything else? Yes, go ahead, Kathy. Kathy, go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, you're muted, Kathy.
I'm sorry. I have a question about adjusting the sensitivity.
Oh,
We get
yes.
notified if a truck goes by and stuff like that.
Yes, and I do too. When you set these up, there are settings that they ask you. It's very step by step as you set things up. But when you set things up, there are actually motion zones that you can set. We'll talk just a little bit about that too. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
you can set your motion zones. It also will ask you, does your house face a street, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can do adjustments that way. Okay, so let me go back and feel free, by the way, at any point in time, anybody, when you have a question, because the time that the question comes up to your mind is a good time to go ahead and ask the question. Otherwise, we might forget it.
I hope you'll talk about the basic setup and then the customizable features after that.
Yeah, we're gonna touch base a little bit on it. There's a lot to it, and since we've already lost about a good 10 minutes of the class here, I'm gonna hit the basics, but I've got some really good links to send out to the group that will walk you through some of the stuff that we may not talk about today, including the plans and things like that. So Ring Video Doorbell, of course, most everybody knows, it captures video and allows you to answer your door where you're at home or not. You don't have to answer the door. You don't have to physically open the door. If you're out at the grocery store, you can answer your door. People think you're home. It's got not only the video, but it's two-way communication, so you can hear the person on the other end too and speak to them. So the advantages, obviously, of having it is that it's a good security thing. You don't have to open your door. Nobody really likes to open their door to strangers anymore. You can talk to the person. And like I said, if you do the little subscription, the cheapest little subscription, you can actually record these videos and share them with people in your neighborhood. So the features of the Ring doorbell, and this was one of the questions that someone asked, it can be installed as a doorbell just like the old style doorbell. It comes two ways where you can, if you have an old style doorbell, you can take that doorbell off and just wire this doorbell right exactly into it, just like the other one. Or you can use the battery that comes with it. And the battery system, that's what I use because it's easiest to do. Really, you don't have to worry about any kind of wiring or anything. Basically, all you do is just screw it into your home or where you're mounting it. Go ahead.
Excuse me. On the wired doorbell, does it have a battery? So if you have a power failure that it will still detect?
Yes, it sure does. It sure does. In case if your electricity goes out or anything like that, they all come with that battery.
Okay, thank you.
So this is the non-wired installation. This is with the cover off. I've taken the cover off, which just slides down off of the front of it. And then you can just see the little screws that screw it in. There's like maybe one here, one on each side at the bottom, and I think maybe one at the top. So this is mine that I took the cover off and I just screwed it into the wall myself, and I used the battery. This is what it looks like without the cover on it. This is your top of your Ring doorbell, and the cover fits on right here, and right in here, and just slides down. This is a setup button, a little bitty black button here that it'll talk about when you go to set it up. And then this is basically, I guess you could say, the innards or the insides of the Ring Video Doorbell. This is kind of a close-up. This is your battery down here at the bottom, and this is a close-up of it. You just push this little silver bar in, and the battery just drops right out of it. So this is what your battery looks like right here. And then you just put it right back in and it clicks right back into place. Now to charge the battery, this is the bottom of the battery right down here. And this is the charging place where you charge it. That has a little cord that goes with it. Looks like this. This of course goes into your USB device that you plug in just like your phones and things like that. And the other little small end plugs into the battery here. And so there's a green light when it's fully charged. When it's charging, you'll see an orange light and a green light to let you know that it's still charging. Once it gets its full charge, you see just the green light, and you can go back out and install your battery. So let's see what's next.
How long does the battery last, I guess?
Again, the battery will last according to how often it's used. So if you have your settings set to where it picks up every car that goes by your street, it's going to use your battery more, and you can also set the length of time that it records. You can set it, I'm not sure all the options, but I think I have mine set for 30 seconds. If there's motion beyond that 30 seconds, I believe it still records though, because I've had several weird things happen, like people knocking on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they may be there, 30, 45 seconds expecting me to come to the door or something like that. One thing, let me back up here just a couple of slides. And just looking at these are the covers, and you can get them with the silver on it, or they come with black, depending upon what your house color is, or just whatever your preference is. And then these covers come off by just lifting up from the bottom and pulling outward and sliding down. That's how they come off. There is, underneath the very bottom of them here, there is a real small screw that once you have the cover on, the screw you can screw in from the bottom. Most people don't know this, and this is just to keep thieves from coming up, removing the cover, and taking the battery out in hopes that it'll disable your alarm or something like that. Any questions so far of any of this that we've looked at? We've looked at several different things here. Let me go ahead and scroll back down through everything.
Yes, Cindy. My doorbell on my house is on a side wall, so it doesn't face the street. It only faces the other wall past the door.
I see.
A lot of the next door people post, and they can see things from the road. So because of my setup, I don't think I can see the road, correct?
You probably not. Now, I will say there is a little plastic wedge device that comes with the Ring doorbell, where if you need to angle your doorbell just a little bit, instead of just putting it squarely on the wall, you can angle it. For example, I have a little small walkway not walkway, but a little small area that's covered, kind of an indention to where my door is. And so I had to put the little wedge block on mine to put it onto the wall so that it would actually shoot out through straight ahead to where the doorway actually was. And you'll see when I jump on the app here in a minute what I'm talking about when we look at that. So I'm going to stop the share right now and go out onto the web and take a look at a couple of things, and then we'll go ahead and look at the app. Feel free to ask questions anytime that you should have any, just as you've been doing. And let me find my screen that I need here. And this is actually just, I'm going to show you a brief, let me go back to share so that I can share my sound also. I'm going to show you a brief video on the app. It just kind of goes quickly through a little bit of everything. And I will send you this link also when we are done with the meeting. I'll send it in the follow-up email. So let me see if I can get this full screen and rearrange some things here. And this is the little video on the app.
When you launch the Ring app, the first thing you'll see is the main dashboard. Tapping on a device will open a device dashboard. This is where you can access and customize the settings for your Ring device. The gear icon on the top right of this screen opens device settings. Here you can rename your Ring, change its address, and access installation videos. Back on the device dashboard, you can customize your notification preferences. Ring alerts are notifications you receive when visitors press the button on your Ring doorbell, and motion alerts are sent when your Ring detects motion. Note that these alert preferences are specific to your phone or tablet. So if you turn off motion alerts on your iPhone, for example, you'll still receive them on your iPad or your Android device until you turn off motion alerts on those devices as well. If you have a cloud video recording subscription or trial, when you turn off alerts, your device will still record all activity that it captures. Turning off alerts does not mean that you're turning off all recording. It just means that you won't receive notifications for that activity, and as long as you have cloud recording enabled, you can review the video footage whenever you have time. Below the alert toggles, you'll see a few buttons. Tap Recent Activity to see a list of events captured by this Ring device. This is handy if you have more than one Ring device, as the main dashboard will display all your events, whereas this view only shows events from this specific Ring device. If you have a cloud video recording subscription, you can tap on any of these events to view a recording. Motion settings leads to a screen where you can customize your motion zones, change your smart alert settings, or watch a tutorial that goes into more detail on how the motion detection works. Device Health can help you identify and resolve issues with your Ring device. If you ever have issues with your device, Device Health will help you diagnose and resolve the problem. If you need additional help, feel free to reach out to our support team or visit ring.com/help.
Okay, so that's just a little general overview of the app itself. What I'm going to do, any questions on what you saw there? I've got my, go
I
ahead.
have a question.
Yes, go ahead,
So
Chris.
you can put the app on your cell phone. What about an Alexa device? Can you put it on an Alexa device too? Can you have it on more than one device?
You can, and I'm sure it works with Alexa. I don't really, I can try and follow up with some answer about that because I don't really know for sure. I don't have an Alexa, but I feel certain that you probably can.
Okay.
Now that would defeat, Alexa doesn't do video, right? So that would probably defeat the video purpose of it. But as far as talking through it, I would think that you could. We'll have to follow up. I've got a help page too, or a help link that I will send you to that will help with that.
Yeah, I have an Alexa show, and I think she does do videos. So,
yes, then
so
good.
then yeah.
Good. Then
Okay.
it definitely should.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely should. So let me go and share in the middle of the screen here. Hopefully you can see my phone. And let me get back to, this is the little, hopefully everybody can see it. This is a Ring app right here. So once you've downloaded the Ring app, I'm pointing on my screen, but I'm going to try and tap on things with my left hand. So hopefully I'll get this right. When you open up Ring, this is my home screen, what I see here. Now I actually have two devices on mine. This is my Ring doorbell right here. And this is actually a Ring camera that I have mounted on the side of my house. It'll do lights. It's a automatic motion detection light. It's got two-way talk. You can talk to anybody out there. It also has a siren. You can set off a siren. If it's somebody that's suspicious, you can actually tap on part of it and set off a siren. But looking just at the Ring doorbell, here's my entryway. So I had to actually put a little bit of a wedge behind mine as I actually attached it to the house. So as you can see anybody that comes up in here, whether it's the mailman or anything like that, and rings the doorbell. And this is the street out here. So yes, I do get a lot of motion videos because I went ahead and left my motion zones set up wide open. So if you tap on this area here, it takes you to this screen and you can actually go live, or you can look at any of the things that you've got on there. If you go live, you just tap on the screen up here and it'll take a little bit. It'll activate the device and I could just take a look. This is a live view. There goes a car there. That's a live view outside my house. So I'm going to go ahead and end live. And right now I've got the sound and off. I'm not hearing any sound. You could hear the big trucks go by if I had the sound on. So I'm going to go ahead and end the live. And then it's actually making a recording of the live view right now because I have that $30 a year plan on this device. Now, if I want to look at any other things for today, I just scroll along here. Like here was a motion alert that I got. Let's see what it looks like. I'm just going to let it play. So that's probably just my flag that's causing the motion to go off there. Let me back up to a previous one and it tells you that it's today. And if you notice right up here, it also tells you right here the exact time of day. So this must have been a big truck that passed by or something. You're getting the sound on that too. So I'm not sure if I don't know if the mailman's been by today or not. There's the garbage truck. So that's all I've got going right now. So any of these that you don't want, you can actually get rid of by going down here to the little 3 dots and tapping on the 3 dots. And there's your delete. You can actually delete it, or you can actually take a snapshot. Like if this was a person out there, I could take a snapshot. If I turn my phone sideways, this gives you much better view, much bigger view of everything you're seeing. Let me get this out of the way here. And then at the bottom, you see the little time frame going along here. If you wanted, you could actually make it full screen if I wanted here on the screen. But
On your thing that made you be able to see the street, are there varying degrees that you set to make that fully? Because my entry is going to look like yours.
Yes, there is. And I'll show you where to go to that. I'm going to tap on the little X right up here, and it's going to take me back to the main screen right here. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go there. Here we are on this main screen here. Right up here is your settings button. Okay, this is the thing that you tap up on that opens the whole world of all of your settings right here. There's a ton of different settings. I'm just scrolling through them right now. Some of them you'll use, some of them you won't. Some of them are for if you add on extra devices and things like that. So looking through here, if you notice, there's a motion snooze where you can actually snooze your motions. If it picks up motion alert, you don't care. You can snooze all your motions. It'll record it if you have that recording contract, but it won't notify you of the motion. So right here is your motion settings. This is what everybody's wanting to, I think, get some answers about. So if you tap on motion settings, here's what it gives you. You can actually adjust the motion sensitivity. They have something new that's called a people only mode, where it will only pick up motion if it senses a person. Then these advanced settings right here is where you would go to actually set your motion zones. You can do, there's so many things to here, but your motions, you can actually schedule it where if you don't want alerts during the night, you don't have to. Motion frequency, you can set how often do you want it to go off. Motion detection, advanced motion detection right here. This is where you set it for, trying to make it bigger. The screen doesn't want to flip. This is where you can actually go in, and this is where it's explaining it to you, where you can actually go in and set the settings to adjust your motion settings.
Are these on the free version, or are these
Yes.
part of the $30? Oh, okay.
No, this is yes. This is on the free version. Yes, all of the settings are on the free version where you don't have to have any kind of setting. But all you do is you just drag and drop to the areas that you actually want to cover here. So that's your motion settings. Let me see if I can get us back to where they actually are. Let's see here. Sensitivity, people. I think because it might be I have it on people only mode. Let's take that off. Okay, I'm going to just go back to regular settings here. I'm going to go down here and look at device settings. Tap on that. Here's the video settings where you can tailor the video. You can actually have it in HDR. Your live view, you don't have to use live view. You can turn it off. This will actually, and down here on the bottom is where you actually set your recording video link. So if you want it for 30 seconds, you can adjust it to whatever you want. Here's the different ranges that you can adjust it. And I've just got mine for 30 seconds. We'll leave it at that. So I'm going to go all the way back to where all of these other settings are here. Your power settings is kind of an important setting because this is how it determines what percentage of how often your battery is going to be used. Actually, I think there was a question earlier about that. And if you notice, it tells you your battery level. My battery level is at 65% right now. I charged it a few days ago. And it generally takes about 8 hours to charge it. So when you go to set up your doorbell, make sure you charge your battery all the way. Now here's a feature called Snapshot capture. If you turn that on, it tells you that it captures images regularly throughout the day, just to let you know what's going on in your neighborhood. In case there's something that's not noticed, it'll just do automatic snapshots of what it sees. So let's see, here's your motion frequency. We've gone through all of that, I believe. Let me see what's down here.
Cindy,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you set the time that you record,
Uh-huh.
I noticed it was like up to like 120 seconds, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And when you review these motions in your recordings, can you speed it up, faster than real time?
You can advance it by just dragging your finger along the little line or the little live view part. You can advance it in that way. Yeah, you sure can.
Okay.
In case you're just looking at something, like I'll say dead air, or just nothing going on. You sure can. I believe now I have some blink cameras in my house too, and I'm not sure if this is a setting on front door or blink, but it may have a setting to where if motion stops, your recording stops too. That way it saves your battery also. I believe Ring does that also. I'll have to double check on that.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
But 30 seconds seemed to be enough time, in your opinion, to capture what you need to capture?
It does. If some actually, I get a lot of Amazon packages like we all do. And
Yes.
The Amazon guy will come up, drop the package off, ring the doorbell, step back, take a picture as they do, and then he's gone. And that's plenty of time with about probably, 10 seconds left. Even within 20 seconds, they're usually in and out. Now,
Okay.
if you are actually answer your doorbell, someone, say it's somebody maybe selling something, answer your doorbell. If you answer it and you're talking and that conversation's going on, it will keep recording as long as you're engaging with that person at your front door. So if that's longer than 30 seconds, it will record all of that. So
And for the battery, for the battery installation, can you get a secondary battery so you can always have one charged and charging?
Yes, you
Okay.
sure can. They love for you to have second batteries.
I'm sure they do.
Yes, but you absolutely can. And one thing I will say, some of the other devices, for example, the device that I have on the corner of my house, it's got the alarm on it and everything else. It actually comes with 2 batteries inside of it. So it lasts for quite a while. And each battery, as both batteries go down, you can take them out and charge them at the same time. You can charge them one at a time if you want, but it's kind of like when you had the cars that had the 2 gas tanks on them, it's kind of like a really good backup. But you can always tell what your battery percentage is because your app will tell you. It will also send you notices when your battery is getting low. It will send you text messages and say, Ring doorbell at your front has 25% battery left, time to charge it or something like that.
Cindy, my husband and I each have the app on our phones.
Huh?
Can my settings be different for Ring than his settings?
I'm not sure, Kathy. I don't think so.
Okay.
But then again, I'll check. Let's see. Let me make myself a note about.
Thank you.
difference. Uh-huh. I'll see if I can find the answer to that.
Also, Cindy,
Yes.
I'm in California, Central Valley, and oftentimes Post or UPS or FedEx, they do not ring the bell, and I'm home, and they haven't notified me. But then we have porch pirates around here. I've never had a problem with that, but when the guy leaves, the camera goes off. But if a porch pirate came, it would come back on.
Yes, if you notice up here on these settings right here, the ring alerts, this is the alert for specifically if somebody rings the doorbell. Here's your motion detection alert. I'm sorry, this motion detection will just actually record it or pick it up if there's motion. And this is your alert. You can turn the alert off if you want. Maybe you get a lot of motion throughout the day and you don't want the motion alert on, you can turn that off. But if you've got that turned on, any porch pirate that comes by, it's going to capture it.
Okay.
And in that event, it probably would be wise to have the little $30 a year program so that it would record that. And you can download it. You can share it with people. You can send it out on Nextdoor. Let me show you. Let me check.
We get a lot of people posting on Nextdoor with their ring.
Yes.
So they have to they have the $30 one then because,
Yes.
okay, got
They
it.
sure do. Now this little icon up here, I'm not going to tap on it, but it's because it actually shows my physical address to my house. But this will open up a whole menu here of things that you can do. And one of the things you can do, I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff just from, I'll say just from opening this device, right? I mean, this little link right here. So you can go through and look at that. One of the best things about it is they have Ring Doorbell Neighborhood, and that's what this little icon is right up here at the top. So I'm going to tap on this. You can invite your neighbors, things like that. Let me go back and see if I can get into where it actually shows the neighborhood app and show you some of the things. And believe it was in here.
That must be different than the Nextdoor app.
It is. It is. Neighborhood is actually part of the Ring in here. You don't have to join it separately or anything like that. You can just go in and you can see all of the things that have been posted. You can get everything from alerts of lost dogs, power outages in the neighborhood, activity that's gone on that's, you know, they want to share. One, like I said, one time I had someone ringing the doorbell at 3 o'clock in the morning, and this person went to several of the doors in the neighborhood, and I shared that through the neighborhood content. I actually shared it on Nextdoor also, but I had several neighbors contact me and say, yes, the same person came to my house too around that same time. So the best thing to do is to get in here and just, in fact, once you download the Ring Doorbell, the actual installation part of it, which we've not even touched on today, let me stop my screen share here. The actual setup is totally step-by-step through the app. It tells you exactly what to do, when to press this settings button, when to tap this, when to do this. It's very user-friendly for setting up your Ring Video Doorbell. Once you've got it installed. And there are lots of good tutorials out here on the internet. Let me see, I've got one, a couple of things of the links that I'm going to send you. This is general information on the plans that you can get. And if it's got a lot of info on this page here, a couple of good videos also talking about them. But this shows you this graph down here, what you get with your basic free plan. You get all of your motion activated notifications. You get real-time video with live view, meaning you can turn on that live view anytime you want. You have the two-way talk, and you also have a theft protection. I'm not sure what all involves with that, but that's what you have with your doorbell without having any kind of a plan whatsoever. The basic plan plus, that's where it starts with the video recording. You get 60 days video history for 60 days. I'll also say Ring Doorbell comes with a 30-day free subscription to the actual, I think, Protect Basic plan to all of these. So if you go with the $30 plan here, it gives you a snapshot capture where you can set it to take a picture periodically throughout the day. This will give you the video sharing and saving of all the data. So this goes on with all kinds of other good info. This talks to you about right here about the cost for it. Your free plan right here, and your $30 annual plan is that mid-level plan. And then for $100 annually, you get the total, all of these things in your plan. Plus you get a discount off of any future products that you purchase through Ring also. So I'm going to send you that link. That'll be very helpful too. We've got, yes, go ahead.
Yes. You talked a lot about the battery operated one. Have you heard of any issues with the ones that are wired?
No, ma'am, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. And
Okay.
it's like I said, it's also a very simple thing to do. When you get your doorbell, it comes with everything you need. It even comes with a little screwdriver in it that you can use. It's got a bright orange handle on it, and it fits the little screw underneath the battery area so that you can take the cover off and everything. And so it's just super simple to use. It really is simple to set up. simple to go through, and it walks you through everything. And as I said, you can get something called a Chime Pro that goes with it, where you can have a little bit of fun with your doorbell sounds and things like that in the various seasons. So there's so much more to it than what we've had the opportunity to talk about today. And again, we're here wrapping up towards the end of the class. Before we turn it over, if you notice, we have Marv in the class with us. He just joined, and he has a few words that he wants to say to everyone. Before I turn it over to Marv, let me just go ahead and say thank you guys so much for sticking with us through the technical funnies at the beginning of the class, and I appreciate all your help to get us where everybody needed to be hosting appropriately. And hopefully you'll come back to the class and we can talk about some other things and other questions that you have, you want to talk about, and help us learn more about Ring Doorbell too. Because as I said, it's very, very robust, and there's so much to learn about it, more than you can actually handle in an hour's time.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Can I ask you just one thing? Does the box just say the basic one? Because I've looked at the Ring, and there's different model numbers, and all I want is just the one that you're describing. Do you know the model number or anything like that?
I don't right offhand, but if you just go to ring.com, you'll be able to find anything on there. And that's where you can actually take some time and look at different model numbers. I think even just the basic one, they're constantly upgrading and making it a little bit better. But Amazon owns Ring, so they're going to always continue making it better and better. But I don't have the model description on mine. I've actually had mine probably for about 3 years. So it's probably even one of the older versions, as if I went out and bought one today. You can actually, I will say, talking about the battery, there are some of these pieces of equipment, you can actually get a solar panel and hook it up to your doorbells and your other things. And that way you don't have to worry about charging your battery. It stays charged if you don't have rain all the time. So thank you guys so much. I know there's more questions. If you want to put other questions in the chat while Marv's visiting with everybody, please feel free, and I will do my best to answer all those questions. John,
Thank you, Steve.
Yes, John.
Thank you so much, Cindy.
Sure. If y'all hang on just a minute, Marv wants to visit with everybody. Hey, Marv.
Hi, Cindy. Hi, folks. So glad to see you here. Before I get started, though, can we get a thumbs up or something for Cindy? I mean, she did a great job. Great job.
Thanks,
I just got in the bottom part of it. I wish I had gotten in it at the beginning. I don't have a Ring doorbell. And just a little bit that you told me, I'm thinking, what do you capture up there? It would be interesting, folks, just to have a class on what you caught on your cameras.
I could do that. That's for sure.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I'm here, folks. I want to talk about something that is available through Get Set Up, and that is making friends. Now, let me bring it down a little bit. First of all, you're going to lose all of your loved ones. You're going to lose your spouse if you haven't already. You're going to just lose so much. It's part of life. That's just part of life. But with Get Set Up, you can make friends. And I'm telling you, it's so easy to do through the chat. There's other ways to do it. I'm here to help you if you want to make friends. Now, I don't know how many of you do, but when I was young, I was fairly popular and things went along pretty good for me. And then somehow, I don't know what caused it, but I kind of got into a thing where I didn't seem to have many friends. I wasn't around many people, and it was okay. It seemed to be okay for me. But then as I'm getting older, I'm starting to think, wow, more and more people are leaving. They're going different places, going back with their grandkids. I'm running out of friends. And it's so nice to have somebody just to pick up the phone or you could Zoom or something, just chat what's going on. So here's what I propose. I propose that a number of you really consider getting together and just having like a social hour or something and talking whatever you want. You can talk about, like we talked about earlier, the videos that you have, the strange videos. You can have it on anything. How to garden. I think we have classes on that though. But I encourage you to intermingle with each other, And, for those of you that are not showing your face, it makes it a little bit more difficult because like I'm looking out there and I see Joanne. I wouldn't mind being a friend with Joanne out there. I think she looks pretty cool and she looks pretty intelligent. I think that would be pretty good. Kathy looks like she's having a nice time rocking there. On it. I can see Donna over there and Susila. Oh yeah. See, everybody's happy. Wouldn't you all like to be friends and just have a little social group that you go to? I put my email in the chat. I did also put an interesting thing about Cindy. Cindy, you are a dog person. My gosh, 7 dogs. I just had to put one down this morning. Terrible thing to do, but congratulations on that. But, just to talk about each other, just on a regular basis, make those friends. That's what I encourage you to do. And I am here to help you. All you have to do is send me an email and say, Marv, I'm in. I want to do it. I want to get into the interest group. Maybe you want to host it. Hosting is the best. You make more friends faster that way. But I encourage you folks, take the time, think about it. Think about it seriously. Let me share one other little story with you. My mother was, when she was active, she was chairman of this club, president of that club. She had so many things going on in her life. She passed away at age 92. But when she was 83, I said to her, hey, Mom, I said, is there anything I can do to help you out? She had arthritis, severe arthritis, and she was losing her eyesight through macular degeneration. She said, Marv, she said, thank you. But she said, there's one thing you can help me with, and it's the worst thing I have right now. She says, I'm losing one friend a week. One friend a week. Now, let me tell you, you don't want to be there on the last day and not have anybody there to care about you. I told you folks earlier, I had to put down a dog this morning. It was very difficult to do. But I have some friends I could talk to, friends that also have dogs, and they had compassion, and it just relieves some of that heart pain that you have. I'm encouraging you not to put down your dog. Nope, I'm not doing that. But I encourage you, make friends, folks. Make friends. All you have to do is email me and say, Marv, I'm in. I want to do it. Show me what to do. We'll set you all up, and you can talk about anything. So anyway, that's all. I'll turn it back over to Cindy. I wanted to let you guys know that I am available. And by the way, I'd be more than happy to hold your hand and co-host the program, whatever it is that you wanted to do with you. I'd be more than happy to do that because I make more friends that way. Anyway, I'll turn it back over to Cindy. Thank you, Cindy, for allowing me that time.
Marv, thank you so much. I appreciate all your kind words, and I appreciate all the thoughts that you've given everybody to think about. Wonderful. Thank you.
You bet.
Well, everybody, thank you so much. Y'all have been real troopers. This is the second time y'all have attempted to get any information from this class. And although it started out with a bunch of craziness, we're all good. And are there any final questions that anybody has about anything that I could try and answer? One of the questions I saw in chat was that someone wanted to know if these were all self-installed, and yes, they are. It's that easy to do, whether you wire it or whether you just screw it into the wall and use your battery. There's so much that you can do. I hope to be spending more time on showing the Ring Neighborhood app and even sharing some of the things that I've actually shared through the Neighborhood app that's part of the Ring Doorbell app. But they're really cool things to have, and you won't be sorry if you do decide to invest in one. It's nice to be able to see what's going on around your house, even when you're gone. I know there's been several times I've been at the grocery store, even when I was working at work, and people would ring my doorbell, and it was very nice to be able to talk to them because sometimes they were people just trying to scam me into something or whatever, but they didn't always have an extra car at the house, so they didn't know if I was home or not talking to them, so they didn't ever try any shenanigans. So I was very glad that I had a Ring doorbell. And
you can talk to them, Cindy. You can talk to them from the grocery store.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got to take your class.
It's so cool. Wherever you are. That's the good thing about it is you can answer your door whether you're home or not. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I just learned something just in this brief time. I love it. Yeah. Thank you. Virtual hug. Right.
So Kathy, when I had my Jack Russell Terrier, she was the Ring doorbell before there was one.
Well, I will say one thing funny is sometimes I do turn off the motion alerts because my dogs will bark when they hear the noise coming from the Chime Pro section that I have with it. And so I'll sometimes just turn those off. I'm like, guys, I'm here. I know it's somebody passing by. It's okay. No problem. And when everybody rides their bikes or something in the afternoon, I'm like, I just have to shut it off because they'll just bark consistently. So
do you need to delete recordings to make more space at some point?
Eventually, yeah. I spend very little time on actually deleting any recordings, but there could come a point where yes, you wouldn't need to keep those any longer, and you can free up space. I'm not sure how much space it actually comes with it. I'll see if I can find out. But I've never run into a point where I had to delete it or else lose use of it.
Okay.
I'll see what I can find out and put it in the follow-up email.
Then as you fill up all your memory space, does the new detections displace the oldest?
It could be that they override it. Yes, it could be. I'll see what I can find out.
Okay.
Cindy, I think so Sheila has something to say.
Yes,
Yes.
I take my phone, of course, with me to work, and a couple of other people have Ring, and everybody's chimes sound identical. So I don't know whose doorbell it is, and I don't have the customized plan. I have the basic plan. Question number 2 is, how do I protect the back and sides of my house?
You'd have to get other devices to do that. Now, I will say there is a camera system called Blink, B-L-I-N-K, that I also have. And those are the ones that I have really, I have them outside the back of my house. They're little square cameras. They run on Wi-Fi. They run on 2 lithium AA batteries. And I have those around the outside. Those also come with 2-way talk.
Do they come as part of the Ring system? Or
no, it's a different system called Blink. When you have time, go on to Amazon and look up Blink motion cameras. And you'll see they're also super easy to install. You can just set them on a desktop if it's somewhere in the house. I have several around the house. So when I'm gone, I feel good about knowing that nobody's broken into my house or something like that. But that's the Blink system. So check into the Blink. Maybe someday I'll do a class on Blink cameras too, because those are really affordable too. They're weatherproof if you put them outside the house. So yeah. All kinds of things.
And do you have a system to monitor my dogs inside the house?
That's why I got my cameras in the house, actually. So when I was at work, I could make sure the dogs weren't ripping up the cushions on the couch or something like that. But yes, that's why.
Cindy, they would never rip open. They would never do that to your cushions.
You don't know some of my dogs.
The Just Bunnies did it. That's their story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep. Yep.
My
Cindy,
neighbor.
I have the Blink system in my home. I've had it for about 4 years now. I chose to put them on the inside. I have one where I also have Ring doorbell and Ring, what do you call that? The night light.
Yes.
Also,
that's what I have.
The Blink system. Yes. I have it where if the front door, the entry door is open, Blink records that. I have one at each door of the house, and I love it. It has not failed me. I'm certain it's been either 4 or 5 years, and they are just so small, and you could put them where it's not obvious to someone who comes in your home. If you put them somewhere, they would never know to look around to see if there's something monitoring them. A friend of mine put hers on top of her kitchen cabinet. Her cabinets are not built all the way up to the ceiling, so she has it set in the kitchen cabinet, but it's a good way to monitor.
So where do you get it?
I got it on QVC.
It's actually, Blink is also owned by Amazon. And yes, QVC, I will say QVC does run some excellent sales on Ring doorbell and Blink systems, both. And over the Memorial Day weekend, I would bet you anything that they're offering some sales on both of these devices, one at least, if not both of these devices. And I totally agree with Gail. They're so easy to hide. You can hide these cameras in anything, anywhere, and nobody even knows that they're there. So the Blink,
my dogs too.
Yeah. But the blink system, I'll see about setting up something with the blink system, because it's also very easy to use, and maybe almost easier to use actually, I think, than the ring systems. But the ring systems has a little bit more functionality and different things. Like I said, the camera on the corner of the house, Gail's yours probably is the same way. It's a motion sensor light. You can talk two-way to anybody. It's also got and it's got an alarm. That's the best thing. If there's somebody there that you know doesn't believe there, you can hit the button on your app and turn the little alarm on.
I've done it just to test it occasionally to see if the alarm is working. And my neighbors have called me, your alarm is off, but I don't see anyone around your house. I said, well, I'm just testing. Thank you for calling me.
Right.
So that alarm is quite noisy.
Yeah, that's great. And it's really great to have. There's just so many cool things out there. But between Ring and Blink, yeah, you can do so much. And it's so easy because it's whether you're at home or not. Blink is the very same way. I will also say Blink doesn't have any kind of a payment. Well, they do. You can have some kind of a payment plan, but there's no need for any kind of a payment plan with Blink. You can still capture recordings, save them, upload them to Nextdoor, wherever you want.
Yeah. I love my Blink. I love my Ring. So I would say to anyone, if you don't have anyone to mount your doorbell or your spotlight Ring right now, go with Blink, because you can do it yourself so easily.
You can. You sure can.
Do any of the devices come that you can just plug them in, or do you have to wire them or use a battery?
No wiring with Blink, none whatsoever.
Nothing whatsoever with Blink, right? Check them out on Amazon. There's nothing whatsoever. Like I said, the cover comes off the back of them. They run on 2 AA lithium batteries. And depending upon how often the batteries go off, your batteries last forever. In fact, I don't think
they do.
Yeah, my inside cameras, I don't think I had to change them at all the first year that I had them. I have one over my garage where it catches me going in and out a lot. So that one, the batteries will run down, but you can get those little batteries at Walmart for, come in a 4-pack for maybe $8 or $10.
Right.
Well, you can also turn the Blink off. For instance, the one that's at my entry door, when I'm home, I don't have it on, but as soon as I leave home, I put it on.
Exactly. And it's so
keep it on while I'm there, constantly passing in that area is going to bring the battery down.
Right.
But, you control that Blink to comfortability in the high traffic area,
Yes. And of course, I turn mine off too when I'm at home, so that it's not going to use the battery. I was going to say, if I can get the phone to hook up here real quick, I'll actually show you what the Blink app looks like and show you how easy it is to turn them off and on and everything. Let me see if I can share my screen here with everybody again. If y'all feel free to leave, if y'all need to go, we just kind of get carried away.
Would the dogs set off the motion?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
They will. They sure will. Right. Can you guys see my phone here on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Down here, right here in the bottom corner, I have the Blink, the big little B. That's the Blink system. And you can see once you install everything, and these are all the cameras that I have around the house. Mm-hmm. And to turn them on, it's as easy as just tapping the little running man up in the corner here. If I just tap that, he'll turn blue, and that means that he's actually on now. So it'll pick up any motion that goes on. It's turned on. If I want to turn it off, just turn it off. And then these are the little settings on it right here where you can pop up the settings and you can set all kinds of things. It's also got activity zones that you can set down here, re-trigger time. It's got sensitivity, clip length. You can set it for whatever you want. So it's a very simple thing to use. Super, super simple. And so maybe we'll get a class going on that too, because I really think it's a good combination to have some Ring things and some Blink.
Do you have ideas for how to set it so the dogs wouldn't trigger it, or the cat?
You can set the sensitivity to it, but it's still, and then again, it depends on where you set it in your house. If you set it up high, yes, I'm going to say yes. If your dogs are on the couch all the time and you don't want that setting it off, you could actually shut down that part of the motion zone in the camera. You sure could.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go buy one today. And I think you all ought to come over to my house for dinner, and then we can test the alarm.
I agree. That would be fun. Yeah.
Dinner and conversation.
Yes. Well, I'm going to let everybody go. Thank y'all so much for putting up with all of this and sticking through the class. It's really helped me. And this was really the first time that I've taught the full class. So feel free to come back anytime and teach us all some more. You guys have been great, and I really appreciate y'all.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, Cindy. Great job.
See y'all later. Bye-bye.
Cool. Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, same to you, Merv.
You bet.